Hey! We are live. Live. How's it going, everybody? Awesome. Can y'all hear the hammering going on up there? I keep screaming at them to stop working so I can actually do my live. I'm like, por favor, 10 minutos no más. Nobody's listening to me, so we're just going to have to deal with the hammering. Oh, how's it going, everybody? If you're new to my world, I don't usually scream at hammers up above in my ceiling in my apartment. I usually help women in my Love It to Lose It tribe. That's what I do. I'm the founder and creator of the Love It to Lose It methodology and the system in my tribe. And I work with women who are actually quite successful. Maybe they have a successful career, or they're slaying it in motherhood, or they feel really tight in their partnership or relationship. There's just definitely places in their life where they feel like they own that success. Maybe it's their finances. I mean, there's so many different ways that you can look at your life as women and be like, yeah, I got that. Boom. But for some reason, they can't figure out this whole body thing. And it is, it's painful. It's a big struggle. Struggle is what I'm trying to say. And so that's what I do. I help successful women finally actually start to like their bodies so they can really just stop doing the crap, the stress eating, and finally experience more connection, love, and intimacy in their life. And I do this by helping them release old trauma patterns. So we don't like that word trauma, right? I don't like the hammering either. I wish the hammering would end. That's what I'm talking about. So I've just found that we're really successful women on so many levels. But the challenge comes when they can't figure out this whole body thing. And the problem with that is it's not just about the clothes not fitting. It's not just about going into your closet every day and struggling. And it's what it does to your confidence, is how you feel about your body. And that, thank you for the hearts, by the way. So appreciate that. But ultimately, it's about deeper stuff. It's about the obsession that we have around food. And I don't just mean the obsession oh my God, I'm addicted to sugar, or I'm thinking about dessert, or I'm thinking about my next meal before the next thing. And that sucks too. But it's also when all of a sudden you're in healthy mode and now you're like, oh my God, I've got to count my macros, or what about those calories, or did I eat too many carbs? And I mean, it's tiring. It's tiring to go down this road all the time. You know what I mean? And then you go down it and it's painful and you don't feel confident in your body. And then the next thing you know, I think the worst is the level of defeatedness and frustration that we feel at a level when you just end up working so hard and trying so hard and obsessing so much, and then you end up putting the weight back on. And it really is a sense of why can't I figure this whole fucking body thing out? What is that about? And I think the part that hurts me the most, that I get so challenged with my clients and with the women that I serve, is that people still actually believe that going on a diet and joining the gym is the answer. But it's not the answer. That's literally like putting a Band-Aid on a gaping wound, right? It's like thinking that a Band-Aid is gonna fix a bullet hole, right? And a Band-Aid never fixes a bullet hole, y'all, ever. And for me, it's painful because I know that's not the way to do it. It's if you've been struggling with this for so long, if you've been struggling at this level in your life for so long, I promise you, there is not a diet or a fitness regime on the planet that's actually going to get to the heart of the matter of what's really, truly going on inside. And so that's what I do. That's literally what I do. This is literally about addressing deeper things, deeper reasons why the weight is there in the first place. We have to be able to go deeper than a superficial, Band-Aid approach. Absolutely. So the reason why nothing changes is that the physical weight is just a placeholder. It is just, y'all hear the hammering? Is it just me? Can y'all hear the hammering too? I'm screaming up there. I won't scream again, but I'm just stop. The reason why we're holding on to physical weight, it's because it's a placeholder. It's a placeholder for unresolved emotional wounds, unresolved other stuff that has nothing to do with joining a gym or going on a diet. And until we can get to that place of realizing that that's what's going on, nothing will ever change. Nothing will ever change. So this is why I do what I do. Really and truly, in order to lose weight for good, it's not just about weight loss either. In order to just fucking feel comfortable in your body, feel confident in your body, feel a level of peace and freedom around food and peace and freedom with your body, it's actually quite simple and straightforward. And they're really excited about the simplicity and the straightforwardness. Oh my God. Number one, we have to heal our emotional blocks. Number two, we have to actually expand our capacity to feel our feelings. And then number three is that we have to develop a more resilient mindset. These are the things, and underneath the underlying part, or maybe the umbrella part, the part that surrounds all of that, has to do with old unresolved trauma in the body. Okay, so this is a big holiday season training. This is my attempt to help you get your head in place during a time of the year that we tend to not be able to feel our feelings. This is the time of the year that there's so many big feelings going on. The stress of the holidays, the stress of the finances, the stress of having 20 other things. The stress of having 20 other things on our agendas and not enough time to get it done. Just the level of and then when you mix all of that in with going back and visiting family, with spending time with people that you don't normally spend time with, right? These are your family, but they're not maybe your chosen family. And it can really take an emotional toll, all right? There are reasons why this time of the year is the perfect time for all of us we start to feel big feelings. And what we do is our primal brain, the part of our nervous system that wants to keep us safe, it kicks us out from feeling all those big feelings because it's too dangerous or scary to feel those feelings. And so that's when we numb out. That's when we go to food. That's when we go to alcohol. That's when we go to other things in order to not feel our feelings. And unfortunately, that pattern is what keeps us stuck. It's absolutely what keeps us stuck. So this is what we're talking about today. And this is what we've been talking about. So if you are interested in understanding more about a resilient mindset, the last training I did, it's training number 3, go up and look into wherever you're at. You can scroll up and you can see where I go deep into the resilient mindset. Very, very powerful. Okay, we've got to be able to build that. It's an important aspect. But what we're talking about today is actual food. We're talking about emotional eating. We're talking about using food in order to, yay, look at all my fun people that are here. We're talking about using food as a way to not feel our feelings. And the way that you know that is because you have the concept in the mind. You go, man, I know what to do, but I just don't do it. I know what to do, but what the hell? Let me wave to Michelle. I love that Michelle's here. Hey, honey, how are you doing today? Love seeing you guys here. Dennis Franco, I haven't seen you since San Francisco. Brian Merritt, I haven't seen you since high school. And Mark, I miss you. I wish you were here in Dallas so we could go salsa dancing. I'm just saying. That's all I'm saying. Can anybody else hear the hammering, or is it just me? The fringe benefit of working from home in a giant high-rise apartment, because you never know what's going to happen. Anyhow, what I want to do is I want to help you understand what you can do about learning how to feel your feelings more. This is a very practical training, especially this time of the year. And I really think if you're trying to look good in your body, feel good in your body, be more connected to your body, have more peace and freedom around food, I really think that the holiday season is the time to do it. So let's dig into, man, I know what to do, but I just don't do it. That response is a numbing out response. And what that says is that cognitively, you understand what to do. But what's really going on inside of you is that your primal brain, and I always point back here because we have our prefrontal cortex, which is really smart and rational. So you know what to do. You have all the information of what you're supposed to do up here. But the parts that run the show in terms of you actually making changes in your life are lower parts of your brain. So the limbic system is the midbrain, and that is the emotional brain. And then the reptilian brain, the primal brain, it's the oldest part of our nervous system. It's in the back. And that's the part that's really concerned with keeping you safe and alive, okay? So it's really interesting how the emotional brain works with the primal brain, because this time of the year, like I said, there's just a lot more emotion. There's just bigger feelings that come up. There's more stress. There's more anxiety. There's more overwhelm, right? There's also more, for some people, not all people. I'll say the holiday season for a whole lot of people, and maybe I have a skewed vision because I lived in California for so long. I lived in San Francisco for so long, and that area tends to be a transport state, a transport city. People leave the crazy of the Midwest or the Middle America and they go to New York or they go to California, right? And so I tended to have the thoughts of like, most people out there, they're there on purpose because they want spaciousness from the crazy of their family. And what the holidays can do, because we all go back and visit our family, we're around old unresolved emotions, old unresolved traumas that now are back, and we can feel the experience in our body. Right now, I'm feeling like rage. Like rage is going all the way through my body because I want to go, stop mammering! And it feels good to name it, and it feels good to say it out loud to you guys. I don't even know if y'all can hear it. I don't know how you couldn't hear it. Like, it is so annoying. Anyhow. And then whenever you can feel your feelings all the way through, when you can actually feel them all the way through, that's actually when we get the relief. But what happens is our primal brain that doesn't think we're safe to feel those feelings, and this is very important that you hear that, it's not your primal brain's fault. This is the most unconscious part of your nervous system. But its job is to keep you safe and alive. So if you never learned how to feel your feelings in any meaningful and reasonable way when you were a child, and then when you became a teenager, then when you became adult, like throughout your life, then your primal brain will kick you out of feeling those feelings, okay? So when you say, I know what to do, but I just don't do it, it is a numbing out response. It's a I know what to do, but I can't do it because I'm having all of these experiences inside of my body. My primal brain doesn't know what to do with it because it thinks it's unsafe to feel super rage, super angry, lots of anxiety, lots of stress. And it's not just the lower emotions, it's the bigger emotions too. It's like as soon as you start, and this was me for a long time, and I can still touch this part of me, where I will feel ecstatic bliss, like orgasmic, crazy, ecstatic happiness, joy, bliss, like super, super high levels, and even feeling emotions too big in like the positive direction, I will get kicked out into numbing out, okay? So numbing out is a quality of not feeling. It's too much for your nervous system to handle. And so it kicks you out. Men do this by feeling the stress and the anger and the overwhelm and the resentment or whatever the things that are bottled up that they're just not allowed to feel. And then they go, fuck it, I'm going to go out and we're just going to go get shit-faced tonight. I'm going to call the boys and we're going to have fun. We're going to have a party. Because it's kind of like the only way they can release because they can't feel the feelings. I'm not saying women don't do that too, but in my experience, women will just like eat more. They will hit the ice cream, and I'm not saying men don't do that either. Men do, like men and women do this, but in a lot of ways, a super emotionally repressed man will just go drink and eat, and then a super emotionally repressed woman will definitely reach for like soothing types of foods, and also alcohol as well. But I guess really both do the same. I just find that men do the alcohol more, women do the food more. At this kind of a level, it doesn't really matter. The whole point is that then you beat yourself up and you're frustrated because, damn it, I know what to do. Why am I not doing it? And isn't it helpful to know that the reason is because you just don't have the capacity yet. You just haven't learned it, the capacity to feel a bigger amount of feelings. You haven't been able to just go there in a way that makes your primal brain feel safe enough to go there, okay? And so what I want to tell you is learning how to feel your feelings in a bigger capacity is a skill set. It's totally learnable. We can do it. It takes time and it takes practice. So, God, this is like hilarious that this is the lesson that I'm giving while this asshole's up here like hammering right above my head while I'm live. Because it's definitely the sensations of anxiety and anger. Like I feel like heat coming into my body and it feels really, really big, and it feels intense. And so this is an important thing, because whenever we feel emotions, there are sensations that are totally attached to the emotions. It's not just I'm angry. You think in your head you're angry. You know that you're angry because you have the sensations that run through your body. It's not just anxiety. There are sensations that are attached to anxiety. It's not just joy and bliss. There are sensations that are attached to joy and bliss, right? So whenever you feel the feelings, again, a lot of times the nervous system will kick us out. We'll go numb out. Or the other aspect is learning how to stick with it, learning how to feel it. And then what you want to do is, I have found a way that works, is to be able to exacerbate, turn up the volume of the sense and the feelings that you're feeling, okay? So for instance, I'm not going to do it on camera, but I will be showing some lives soon about like how to actually do this. I'm going to go like on my bed that I'm staring at right there. I'm going to go beat the shit out of some pillows, and I'm going to scream. And it's probably going to make me feel good to make a call to the concierge and say, friggin' ah! I don't know. I might not do that. I might not do that because what we do with our emotions whenever we don't have control over them or what we're doing, hurt people, okay? Hurt people. Make sense? So it's not the concierge's fault that this asshole is doing this, right? This is all about what I'm experiencing inside of my body right now. And in order for me to actually be able to release the energy that's going through my body and really release and let this energy move through my body, and so that it dissipates out of my body, is to really go as deep as you possibly can into the emotional experience. Feel it all the way to the end. Feel it down to the depths of what you are experiencing. Now, let me give you a little context in this. That doesn't mean that I rage at another human. That doesn't mean that I start screaming at the top of my lungs, oh my gosh, Deborah Lynn, let me say hi to Deborah, good to see you here either. It doesn't mean that that's what you do. This is about having space in your life to be able to touch these feelings and sensations and be able to go all the way down to the bottom without hurting other people. So for instance, your partner might make you really angry. This is very common in relationships. They did this, they did that, and you let it well up and well up and well up. And then instead of dealing with the own emotions that you're having in your own body, what do? You go spew and get angry, or even worse, like passive aggressive, where you're aggressive and passive and then it's boiling underneath you. And that totally doesn't help the situation. What you want to do is release all of the stuff. So let me give you a couple of examples. So let's say you're with your partner, you're getting so angry and your loops up in your head and all the stuff. The way you do it is you express the anger through the body. So for instance, finding a safe place with no people around where you can scream into a pillow, where you can punch your bed, where you can throw a temper tantrum, where you can get angry, where you can rage out loud and go, rah! Right? That's a great example. Now, most people have a very hard time doing this because this is very important for you to hear me say this, that we have been taught to fear our emotions. So I'll give you an example of a temper tantrum of a child, a 2-year-old throwing a temper tantrum. What do parents usually do? They go, oh, no, you don't, right? You're going to learn how to stop that right now. So in a lot of ways, as little children, we learned from our caretakers that feeling big emotions all the way through to the very bitter end is actually not okay. And so we ourselves internalize that I actually can't go to the depths of my sadness and touch it all the way through because we're scared of it. Our primal brain kicks us out before we can feel all the feelings, okay? So I know this sounds crazy because you're like, wait, just give me an action plan to stop, overeating during the holidays. Well, your overeating and your overdrinking is a sign that you are numbing out. It is a sign that your nervous system doesn't want to feel what you're feeling. It's that simple, okay? And so your job then is to learn how to experience your feelings in a bigger capacity in a safe way, not spewing them out on anybody else, but being able to go to the depths of wherever you need to go. So that way, because whenever you have an emotion, whenever it's big, whenever you're angry at your partner, this is a stress cycle in your body. This is an actual, like, it's the thought that you're having, it's the story that you have, it's the emotions that are building, and it's the sensations in your body. These sensations, if you don't do anything about it, if you use your prefrontal cortex to just be like, nope, everything's okay, and you shut it down, it doesn't shut down the actual emotional body in your body. It doesn't shut down the sensations in your body. They still live there. The energetic quality of what was created with those emotions are in your body. So what you want to do is move them through your body. You want to use your body, use your voice, use your sound, use your arms, whatever it might be, to go all the way there. So I'm going to attach a video. I'm going to see if I can do it in the comment section of a body worker who lives in Florida, who's a dad, and he has a 2-year-old, and he understands the body in a big way, and he understands how we hold stress and how we hold trauma in the body. And it was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. This video has gone viral, where he's literally holding space for his 2-year-old to throw the biggest temper tantrum of her life. Now, he explains in the video of how it had been building up, right? Think about how the buildup of you getting angry at your partner, the frustration that you feel whenever things have been building up and you haven't been communicating, you haven't been having sex and all the things, right? Just like imagine that. And it's a buildup, right? And so he was saying that his child, his 2-year-old, he was like, it was one thing of like she was sick and then they had to travel for Thanksgiving, so they were in the car a lot, and then she was sick in the car, and then she had a lot of screen time. Y'all, you spend too much time in front of your screen, like it literally it'll fuck up your dopamine. Like, stop spending so much time in front of the screen. So there was a lot that was building up inside of her, and when she just like let loose, it's really powerful. He basically held the space for her to, and was there, totally 100% there, but he just let her complete the stress cycle. It is so powerful. I'm going to put it down here so you guys can see it. The difference between that toddler and us is that we are adults, and it's our job as adults to hold space for ourselves, or hire somebody to hold space for you. This is what I do. But whenever you're going to complete your own stress cycles, it's about letting yourself go to the depths without cutting yourself off. So if it's deep sadness that you are touching, you have to be willing, even though it's scary and it hurts and it's so painful. Like, sadness just hurts in your throat and it hurts in your heart and it hurts in your stomach and all the way. Let me say hi to Reagan. Good to see you all here. It's so nice to see all you guys popping in. You want to go there. You want to go all the way there. Well, hold on. I just want to start with this. You want to go all the way there because that is completing the stress cycle, and you want to do it in a safe place, like a bedroom with a door closed, on a bed where you can't hurt yourself, not like with sharp corners anywhere. So if you end up like flailing or punching or things like that, right? And it's real primal shit. Like, this is like childlike primal shit. When you're throwing a temper tantrum, or you're crying at the top of your lungs, or you're punching, right? And you're kicking. This is like, it's like awakening your primal body and your primal brain, and it's releasing at the body level. And this is where we hold our shit, y'all. This is where we hold our shit. So the other thing I want to say about this is, this is what I do. Like, I'm here to help. Like, if you want to DM me, like, send me a message, men and women. I work with men, I work with women. Like, this is where it's at. If you are numbing out, if you are struggling with overwhelm, anxiety, with all the things, like, this is actually the answer. You know, talking about it makes you feel better in the moment, but talking about it doesn't actually go deep. Talking about it doesn't actually heal at the body level, and that's what we want to do. We want to be able to heal at the body level. Just saying, okay? The other thing I want to say is that unless you're working with like a qualified trauma-informed, like somatic practitioner coach like I am, there's others out there for sure, and you've never done this stuff before, I want to just say start small. Okay, I'm sitting here talking about beating the shit out of pillows and losing your shit and going all the way in. That is actually the way to complete the stress cycles, so that way the emotions, you can actually just like, oh, there, feeling it, okay. And you walk out of it feeling fucking great. Don't you know, like, whenever you have like a big cry and you just like lose your shit, And I mean, it feels emotionally raw at the end and you feel emotionally tired, but isn't it just like, it's like you can see the world with like rainbow colored glasses afterwards. Like there's a real lightness to it, right? This is the exact same thing, okay? And the more you can train your nervous system in this way, the more you're expanding your capacity to feel your feelings. And when you can expand your capacity to feel your feelings, you're not going to go just like go get drunk because you don't want to feel it. You're not going to go reach for the Ben & Jerry's just because it's there. Do you know what I mean? You follow me? You picking up what I'm putting down? All right, so what else did I want to say about this? Take it slow, go gentle, and you want to turn up the volume a little bit, which means maybe the first step is just recognizing, oh God, I'm totally overwhelmed right now. It's fucking Christmas, and like I've got to do this, and the money's tight, and this is tight, and holy fuck, and blah, 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 blah. And you take a deep breath, and you just try to stay with it. And how do you know you're able to stay with it? Because you're not going to go drink and you're not going to go eat. The only reason you're eating is because you're physically hungry. If you want more training in actually how to have like eating, like learning how to eat, go back to training number 2. Yeah, training number 2. Training number 1 was my story. Training number 2 will go into the actual practical technology of learning how to let go of emotional eating. So the way that you know that you're able to feel your feelings is you're not going to go to food, you're not going to go to alcohol, you're not going to go like load up another credit card, right, without any way of knowing how you're going to pay for it. Like that's another way. Like we do all the things, buy the things, eat the things, drink the things, right? We're not going to do any of that shit. We're going to feel the shit. Hey Mitzi, good to see you here. I love all you fun people coming on. I love this. You want to be able to feel it. You want to be able to go, here I am. I'm not going to go do those things. I'm going to stick with the sensations and the feelings. If it feels too overwhelming, DM me. Dude, like reach out and go, fuck, this is really hard. Let me talk you through it. This is what I do. Okay, send me a DM. This is my life. And if you want to move through it, I would suggest breathing deeply, finding space away from other people so they don't think you're crazy, because most people don't understand this powerful way of moving emotions through the body. And then let yourself do whatever your body instinctively and impulsively wants to do. If it wants to cry, cry. If you want to rage, rage. If you want to like roll around and like punch pillows, punch pillows. If you want to throw a temper tantrum, throw a temper tantrum. Like let the thing that feels irrational, it's not like, don't let this part shut it down. Let yourself just go there and let me know how it went. Like for real, let me know how, I want to know. I love how we've been talking this whole time and finally the hammering stopped. Yes! And now, but actually the anxiety and the emotions that I was feeling inside, that doesn't go away. Like right now I feel calmer, but the fact that I had this kind of buildup inside of me tells me I'm going to need to release this through my body. I'm going to need to do something that feels very like, whew. And so for me, it's going to be a breathwork session later today. Cannot wait. And that's a whole other thing we'll get into. So I hope this was helpful from an emotional standpoint for you to understand that the reason why I think the holiday season is the best time to start paying attention to your food is because you're not going to be dieting during the holiday season, and you shouldn't be. Like, stop fucking dieting. I think January is the worst time because everybody's in diet mode. And I promise you, if you're in diet mode and you're joining the gym, you're going to lose some pounds. But what you're doing is you're putting a fucking Band-Aid over a gaping bullet hole wound. That Band-Aid will not help you for long. It just won't. Band-Aids don't heal bullet wounds. We have to be able to go in and look at what is going on emotionally and what is going on with your mindset. So if you want more mindset training, go to training number 3, the one right before this. Can't miss it. That's like legit mindset training, okay? This is emotional body training. This is like what to do, okay? And for you to understand that this is, it's a part of it. Like, we have to learn how to expand our capacity to feel our feelings. That's it, and that's that. And it's possible. It doesn't have to be scary. It doesn't have to be like some woo-woo weird shit, like overwhelming. Like, we literally can learn step-by-step strategies, and I'm teaching you some of them today, of how we start to feel our feelings in a bigger capacity without going to another thing. I want you to think of it kind of like running. And I mean, if you're not a runner, bad analogy, because if you hate running, then you're going to think, fuck, I hate all of this. But if you ever wanted to run, let's say like a 10K, and you never really ran before, well, you start with a mile. And if you just run a mile and you've never run at all, it's gonna hurt. Your shins are gonna hurt, your body's gonna hurt, your muscles, it's gonna feel like interesting and challenging and not. But if you keep taking care of your body, if you keep, foam rolling, doing Epsom salt baths, stretching a lot, and then continuing to train, pretty soon you're running like 3 miles. And you're like, look at me, I'm running 3 miles. And if you went back and just ran a mile, it wouldn't feel so hard, right? And then eventually you keep training and then you can do a 10K. You just got, what is a 10K? 5.1, I think it's 5.1 miles. And it's like what you've done is you've expanded your body's capacity to feel. It is no different than that. You start, and the first mile felt awful. It's like, oh man. And it could be the same thing with this. It's not that like it's hard. It's just if you haven't ever worked with your emotions before, if you immediately shut them down with food, if you immediately shut them down with alcohol, if you immediately shut them down and you by going to spend money so you don't have to feel your feelings, it just takes some time. It's called emotional sobriety. It's very fucking powerful. It's really good. So there's a lot of people watching today, and I love this, and I want you to send me a DM if this resonated with you, and let me know why it resonated with you. Like, I'm really here to help you. This is what I do for a living, okay? And I forgot to drink my coffee. God damn it, now it's cold. Oh! Well, that's a good sign. That meant I was like, totally here. Like, so loving y'all so much, and so just a recap of what we've done so far is you understand my story and how I even got to this place to be able to teach this level of work. And the next level we went is the actual practicalities of how you can actually lose weight over the holiday season, stop emotional eating, the actual step-by-step strategies of what you do on a day-to-day basis. We took it deeper in the third training by looking at mindset resiliency. How do you actually build a resilient mindset? I give you the absolute tools and structure of how to do that. And then today we're going into emotions. Now, I think it's tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow. Our 5th training is going to be around trauma, and I'm going to explain it in a way that's like practical and understanding and why we get kicked out, why we don't want to feel our feelings. We're going to talk about the science behind it, and we're going to normalize trauma. We're going to make trauma so it's not like some scary thing that we're scared of or we don't want to talk about, or man, I remember that one thing and I knew it was trauma, so I don't like to talk about that shit. Or I don't have trauma, like, that person has trauma. Like, who am I to think I have trauma? Like, we're gonna like dismay. That's the wrong word. I don't even know what the right word is. We're gonna get rid of all of those myths, and we're gonna rock this out tomorrow. And I'm really excited to be. And this is just the start. We are going all the way through the holiday season with the practical tools and what you can do to truly come into a body that you love, a life that feels like filled with freedom and peace. And this is not your diet and exercise strategy, dude. This ain't your personal trainer telling you just to do it. This ain't your freaking person trying to sell you supplements or shakes or meals and I promise you can lose weight if you just stick with my meals. Like, fucking Band-Aids, y'all. They're Band-Aids. If you are truly serious about like healing this shit and you're stop gaining and losing and actually feel at peace in your body and freedom around food and freedom with your body, like, this is it. This is it. My love it to lose it system is it. And I do private coaching and group coaching with women. The two are combined. But I do private coaching with men too. I don't have like the group set up with men, but this affects you guys too. So I want to say hello to everybody. Thank you all so much for coming in, saying hi to Trisha. Good to see everybody. And I will see you tomorrow as we dig into some more juicy stuff. Y'all ready to rock it? Bye. See you next time.